Welcome to GPTalks. I didn't upload a video for quite some time, and that was because I was doing some home renovations and my entire apartment was a total mess. And everything was in pieces, and it was very hard for me to put together the sets so I can shoot the video and upload them. So I'm sorry for a delay, but today I'm going to be talking about something very important, which is your resume, and I believe that is going to bring a ton of value for you, so I hope it was worth the wait time. Resume is such an obvious element of the recruitment process, but it always surprises me how many people are getting it wrong and they don't pay enough attention to presenting themselves through a properly put together resume. A good resume is an essential element of recruitment process and something that is either going to get you to the next step or eliminate you from the funnel. So getting it right is essential for you to get your dream job. I'm going to share with you the template that works best for me and for the type of jobs that I typically apply for. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. And what I would also like to make sure that you get it from the get-go is that the resume that I will be using as an example was a very tailored version of my overall skill set, overall experience, overall presentation that I do through resume to that particular position and not the other position. I would not reuse this resume for any other position that I will be applying for. And this is going to be the key golden nugget from this particular video, that every resume should be tailored to the position that you're applying for. Trying to make one generic version and then just blast it out might work, but you definitely are lowering your chances. If you want to maximize your chances of getting to the next step of the recruitment process, you have to tailor your resume. And this is what I'm going to be talking next. I've linked my resume down below, so feel free to download it first and review it before you continue with the video. So you can click pause now, read it, and then come back after you do. I hope you just did that, so let's dive right into it. As you can see, I have a typical North American standard 2-page resume. It cannot be longer because nobody's going to read it, and for anybody coming from European countries, 5 pages resumes or CVs, as they're called over there, simply won't work. Nobody's going to read them. Nobody needs that level of detail. This is exactly why we have LinkedIn, and this is exactly why we've put so much effort to making sure that everything is on LinkedIn profile and all the details are there, all the experiences, all the skill sets, all achievements, to have the holistic overview of you as a professional. But the resume is something that you always do per position that you're applying for, and it always have to be customized. Now, there is a very, very easy way of doing it right. That easy way is to have your LinkedIn profile include absolutely everything about the position that you took in the past, with all the achievements, all the responsibilities, same with all your courses and all your projects, everything. And just cherry pick elements that are relevant to the position that you're applying for and placing them in your resume. This is what is going to ensure that whoever reviews your resume, like I have here my printed resume printed out, if somebody takes the first bullet from my latest work experience and they will go to the LinkedIn profile, they will find exactly the same bullet. So here, it doesn't seem like I'm lying because I have something different than I have on my LinkedIn profile. The resume is customized and I will only choose 3 to 5 bullets out of around 7, maybe 10 from LinkedIn. But I'm going to choose the ones that are most relevant to this position and to this employer. And because of that, every single time when I create a version of that resume, I can easily send it and then reference people to my LinkedIn account to say, this is what's relevant for your position. If you want to know everything about me, simply review my LinkedIn profile. So whenever you reference content in your resume, you have to basically take it from your LinkedIn profile. But it's also very important how you present it. And typically how I like to do things, and if you downloaded my attached resume, please follow with me here. I will typically have my name and address and contact information at the very top. This is also quite important from usability point of view for recruiters and HR people, because when they staple it at the top, or they have like a paper clip and there is a stack of them, whenever they want to contact me, the only thing they do is they finger through it, and they don't have to search inside the content. It's right there at the top, and it's very easy to find. Make life easier for those people. They will appreciate that, and that's another little plus that makes it easier for you to get through the next stage of the recruitment process. Okay, the next very important element is a title or an objective. If you can see over here, I have Objective Project Manager. This is very important, and I know it's a little detail, but why is that important? It is how I view myself as who I am. If somebody asks me from a professional point of view, who are you? My default answer is, I'm a project manager in software development. The project manager and software development sort of matrix view, this is something I will get back to in future videos, but I always introduce myself as a project manager, and my resume also introduces me as a project manager. Very, very important element. Remember to utilize that with your resume. Now, the following element on my resume is the Summary of Qualifications. This is a very important trick that you're going to utilize to make life easier for recruiters and for HR personnel. Basically, what you need to do is take the job posting and then take your resume and match it line by line. Requirement, qualification. Requirement, qualification. If you're going to make it easier for somebody to review your profile against one of multiple job postings that they might be handling at the time, you're going to get on the top of the list rather than at the bottom of it. And that's also very important sort of social hack that you're going to utilize to get your perfect job. And for instance, how many years of experience do they require? They require around 7 or 8. I have around 7 or 8. I will put that in. And here, one little thing. The amount of experience, if you are close to it, I will still put it. And don't worry if they require 5 and you have 4, still apply. You never know. Maybe they will not have another good candidate that actually matches all of their criteria, and you might just be lucky and get it. So never give up and always apply, even if you don't match all the qualifications. You never know. Maybe you'll be lucky. And the same goes with other requirements. They require certification, and it's like a 5th bullet. My 5th bullet would be my certifications. Prince 2, ISO standards, and other ones. Do they require a level of education? I have my level of education here as a 6th bullet, master's degree in computer science. So I'm trying to match that, so to make it easy for them to see that I am the right candidate for the position that I'm applying for. What's next? Next is my work experience. And here I typically like to have it in a very structured way, where I have my title and the company, the time period that I was employed, and then between 3 to 5 bullets of my responsibilities. And those are the key responsibilities that are relevant to the position that I'm applying for, not necessarily the elements of the position that I was taking in the past. Again, I'm trying to keep it relevant to the position that I'm applying for. And those are bullets that I already have in the LinkedIn profile. I might slightly reword some of the elements or tweak them, use slightly different jargon to make it more custom and to fit more the position that I'm applying for. But overall sense of each of the bullet, overall message of it is the same. Therefore, nobody can tell me, oh, you're not consistent. There is something wonky happening over here. You're potentially lying about your abilities. None of that is going to happen with my resume and my LinkedIn profile. I only have things that I actually know, actually did, actually went through. I have only certification that I actually am certified. And I'm only choosing to include relevant pieces in my resume, but my LinkedIn profile has absolutely everything. So coming back to work experience, I will have my employer information, my responsibilities, and most important, at the bottom of each of the employment sections, employment records, I'll have an achievement, something that I did that brought value to the employer. And this is something that shows that I can deliver on the promise of being a good project manager because I achieved something with that employer. This is something that is going to be then referenced to the cover letter, something we're going to cover in the future. And I will typically have at least 3 positions going back. If you are brand new to the job market, put as much as you can. If you don't have any, this is something we're going to cover in the future videos as well. Okay, once we do the work experience, this is where I'm going to put my education and certification. And again, I'm only going to choose the relevant elements for the position that I'm applying for. And I will typically put the name of the certificate and the time that it's valid for. Some certification is valid only for some period of time. Some certification is basically once you're certified, you're good to go for the rest of your life. So I'm just going to put that in here. And I'm also going to include something interesting. For instance, I included my certification from Toastmasters. This is not something that is widely recognized, but it also shows other interests, other elements that I do not only related to project management. And at the bottom, I'll have some interest and activities. Now, since I used this particular resume some time ago, I started to utilize another thing, which at the bottom of every resume, I will put a little message saying, to review my full profile, please visit my LinkedIn profile, and I will include my LinkedIn URL so people can either type that in, or if I'm giving them the PDF version, which is most common nowadays, they will simply copy paste the address and land on my profile immediately. So now we have the resume exactly the way we want it for the position that we're applying for. Now it is very important to keep a good track of the version that you've sent for the position and the employer. So typically I'll utilize a naming convention saying Gerard P -resume the date I created that resume. And this is also something that when you send a PDF file indicates that you're sending the most up-to-date resume to the future employer. Again, something that brings them confidence that they have the right data. And then I utilize the name of the employer and the name of the position I'm applying for. Again, I'm making it easy for myself and also for the recruiter or for the hiring manager to know that Gerard is applying for project manager, not for business analyst, not for software developer, for project manager. Easy for them to find, especially when they use some sort of search in their Outlook or maybe in their folder structure or anything like that. Make it easier for them, and that is going to go a long way. Another thing I used to do, and I'm not currently looking for a position, but I will do that next time I will be applying for some, is I have a spreadsheet of versions of resumes that I sent, person who I send it to, and a date. So I always know when did I apply to a certain position, what was the file that I used to apply for it, and what is the outcome of that process. Because sometimes you will send like 50 resumes and you will never know exactly who respond, and it might be quite tricky to keep track of that. So a quick spreadsheet is a very, very useful tool. I will highly recommend using something like that. That is it for today's episode. I hope it was helpful for you to find a good way to do the resume, and I hope you liked it, and I hope you're going to use this with your next application that you're going to be putting together. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please click like down below and subscribe to get notified when another video comes out. I will do my best to publish a new video in a couple of weeks, and we're going to be talking about next elements of the recruitment process, like your cover letters and your interview skills, which is going to be quite tricky element to pull off, but I hope I will be able to bring you some added value through that. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.